Hi there, my name is Mandy Mucci. I'm a model, makeup artist, and Beachbody coach, and I have my hands involved in a lot of other things, and one of those things is philanthropy. This video is specifically about that. Ever since my mom was diagnosed with breast cancer, I started doing the Susan G. Komen 3-Day for the Cure, which is a 3-day, obviously, 60-mile walk to fight breast cancer. Last year I did a vlog of the whole experience, so if you've never watched it before and want to know what that's like, please click on my channel, click subscribe while you're at it, obviously, and then if you look at my older videos, there is one that goes through all of the details. There's also another video that goes through things that you need to do to prepare. But since I've already gone through what most of the whole experience is like, this video is just going to be the highlights and the things that are different on Michigan's walk versus the other cities that I've done. So I've done Chicago twice, then Boston once, and then the Twin Cities, and now this is Michigan. So I logged my 300th mile a couple weeks ago, which is really exciting. Since we were near Detroit, the first thing that Danielle and I did, and Danielle is the person that's been walking for me, or with me 4 times so far, we went to Komen Park to see the Tigers play the night before, so here are a couple pictures of that. And then we're on to opening ceremony. One thing that's different this year is we had a new teammate, and that is actually one of the Beachbody coaches on my team, Adam. So here's a picture of Adam and one of the men of the 3-Day, or the 60-mile men, and this one particularly looks like a breast cancer Santa Claus. As always, opening ceremony was an extremely inspiring and energizing thing, and here are some pictures from that. As I mentioned, I want to talk about some of the differences of this 3-Day from others. One thing that stands apart quite a bit is the booze on this 3-Day. There were walker stalkers that had tables set up with all ages lemonade and big girl and boy lemonade. You know what I'm talking about. There was a Bloody Mary bar, there were mimosas, there were people giving out beer, and I've seen that in Chicago, the beer thing, but this was to a whole nother level. There was even like whipped cream vodka. I'm telling you, this was practically a 60-mile booze cruise, except for just Dixie cups and stuff. But anyway, that was one thing that stood out. Even though Komen prohibited it. Adam is a new member to the Mom Militia, but he did not go unnoticed. Here's a video of him being caught by the 60-mile men who absolutely loved him. They were randomly on the route all 3 days, and they had a big amp and played music, and every time Adam walked past, he broke it down. So they started calling him Saturday Night, like Saturday Night Fever. Totally earned the nickname, and it's gonna stick.
What's up, brother? Looking good after 20 miles. 20 miles? Woo!
Another thing that really stood out to me that was different this time is something that the Youth Corps actually did. They gave these little clips to people when they weren't looking. So a few times throughout the walk, I would take off my pack to use the bathroom or to fill it up with water, and I'd find these clips. And it was really awesome because it was so much fun to pass it on. And what I would do is like go into stealth mode and sneak up behind people and clip it on their pack. And it just added a whole nother element of fun to the 3-Day. So in the future, there are going to be Mom Militia made kindness clips to pass on, just because that made it less monotonous and really exciting when someone put them on me. Okay, so here's a video that I took at the end of day 1, after the 20 miles were done. And then we'll talk about one huge difference from this 3-Day from others. Alright, so I haven't been taking as much video this time because a lot of it has been very similar to the Twin Cities last year. But I do want to focus on the things that are different, and one is that this year camp is indoors mostly. So I thought I'd show you going through the things to go get the picture. Adam and Danielle are taking a break. But yeah, this is camp. Okay, so from that video, you can probably tell that we are indoors. One thing that was different this year than any other time I've walked the 3-day is that camp was inside. I heard partially because the normal campsite was under construction. I heard something about tents flying away in a tornado. I don't really know what happened. I just know that we slept on hard ground, but there was a benefit. That's right, flush toilets. We still showered outside, though, in the truck. One of the sad things, I guess there is a low light to this year's 3-day, is that my generic Camelback, the bladder in it, broke and leaked water all over me and my camera, which wouldn't turn on for a while. So I had to use some pictures that Adam took, some pictures that Danielle took, some pictures that the 3-day photographers took, and that's partially why there's less video this time, other than that it just would be really long and unnecessary. But anyway, that's part of the story. Here's a picture of Adam and I on 8 Mile looking pretty gangsta, except it's not in Detroit, it's in like some suburb where it was really nice and in touch with nature. Pure Michigan. That's it. Okay, so one of the things that we were told ahead of time that was going to be an absolute highlight, and correctly so, was the town of Plymouth, which actually just went crazy. They really planned out. There were signs all over. They had businesses giving things away free, like toothbrushes and dental floss, which I super appreciated. Since my first year I walked the 3-day, I dropped my toothbrush on the floor of the porta potty, which is super gross. But anyway, it was awesome that they did that. And then the coolest thing that they did was this. That's right, they turned their fountain pink. I think that's really awesome. At the end of day 2, we went back to our tents and had quite the surprise. Every year they have a tent decorating contest, and this year, even though I was half dead and tired when I decorated the tent and barely did it, we won! So we got a ribbon, and here's our ribbon, and here's us with our tent. We met a very special person on the walk this year, and that is one of the 60 Mile Men, Mr. January. This is a picture of him from behind because for some reason we didn't take one from in front, probably because we were either walking next to him talking to him, walking in front of him, or walking behind him, and when we're walking we're not stopping and taking pictures. There was a big sign at camp for him because he walked his 1,000th mile, which is amazing. And so I was like, hey, are you the Mr. January that walked the 1,000th mile? And he's like, yeah, that's me. And I was like, well, why are you walking? And he's like, you know those Gramwiches? You can't find them anywhere except for the 3-day, which is hilarious because the Gramwiches are amazing. And he gave me the lowdown on where you can buy them because apparently he has. So I think he was kidding about that being the reason why he walks. I know he was. He said his dad's a survivor. But it was really funny that he said that. And the Gramwiches are awesome. And here I am with the Gramwich. There was someone very special who is usually involved with the Michigan 3-day that we did not get to meet this year, and she is known as the Dancing Lady. And it was made very apparent to us that she was quite missed because there were cardboard cutouts of her, and like life-size and little mini ones on a stick, and there were people dancing in her honor. And apparently every year she drives up from Ohio, and it's been many years that she's been doing this, and just dances tirelessly. Apparently she has awesome energy, and as tired as you are when you walk up to her and see her dancing, you have to dance too, which is often the case, but apparently especially so with her. I guess she's recovering from an operation from pancreatic cancer and expected to make a full recovery, but she was super missed on the walk, and I hope that someday, well, I hope I never have to walk again because I hope they find a cure. But I am going to keep walking until they do. So I hope that someday when I'm walking in Michigan, if it comes to that, that I get to see her dance, because she was highly touted as a great dancer and great energy and just an amazing woman. So Dancing Lady, if you're watching this, I hope you feel great and had a great recovery and that I get to meet you someday. Speaking of dancing ladies, how cute is this walker stalker? She is dressed as a fairy and she made me smile every time I saw her. This puppy is super cute, and at first I thought it was silly that it was there until I asked the person who had it, and there was a blogger, social media person whose Twitter name was Big Girl Panties, and she was very young, but she passed away this past year and always was part of the 3-day. So apparently the dog is traveling around similar to how the 3-day mug, if you watched my last year video, traveled around. So here is the dog that's traveling in honor of Big Girl Panties, and I just want to thank Big Girl Panties for everything she's done, because I had heard of her before, and I know she did a lot for the movement, and just kind of honor her since she's not with us anymore. The last thing that I want to talk about before closing ceremony and things like that is one amazing couple that I saw in the 3-day. Apparently, the woman of the couple broke her ankle about a week before the walk, and her husband pushed her 60 miles. So every time I thought that I was a little tired and I ran into them, I thought, oh my gosh, I'm having a hard enough time with my own body weight. I can't imagine pushing another person. So kudos to this couple, because that is some serious commitment to breast cancer fighting. If you're still watching, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, and if you have an extra $5, please donate to our walk. Right now, we still have our 2013 walk site up, but once we pick a location and get registered, I'll have the new place updated, and you can donate. But anytime, it'll always be active, just not necessarily for the right walk yet, but the money all still goes to the great same cause. If you go to www.mamalitia.org, that's MAMALITIA.org, you'll be able to find the Mamalitia team page. You can join our team and walk with us and maybe even win another tent decorating contest. We're going to try to step it up for next year. Or you can, of course, donate to any of us walkers. Always looking for new people, always welcoming, always so thankful again to everyone who helped us raise the funds for the walk. You all know who you are. I appreciate it so much. I know Danielle and Adam also appreciate it. And one more day closer to a world without breast cancer. Thank you for watching. See you next year.